Hi up, friends.
Hello, I'm here too.
Steph's here too. Well, ever since Steph did her sketchbook video, you guys have been asking quite a lot about mine. It will show you how I used to draw before I actually started taking it a bit more serious. Let's get started. Oh, it is a Moleskine. It's exactly the same as Steph's one that she's shown you guys.
Yeah, we both got
before.
them at the exact same time.
So we start with some, I think they were pooches.
Yeah, you used to do a comic about them.
Oh, way back when.
I wonder if anyone in our channel knows about that or if that's a secret.
Well, if they don't need to know about that. It's Brindle the pig.
Oh, you were using screen tone in this?
Yeah, that's something we want to use in a future doodle date. We're going to try and draw something and use some screen tone.
Use like a little X-Acto knife to cut things out like that. It's quite fun.
Faces before I knew where eyes actually sat on the face.
That's a big thing to learn with drawing faces and stuff. It's not like the style of it, it's like to position them in the right place so that the eye doesn't like overlap with the nose bridge or something.
Yeah, that's it. Especially with 3/4 because I had no idea. I mean, look at that.
Oh, it's another guinea pig and me.
Yep.
You did that with ink wash, didn't you?
Well, this is when you started experimenting with
different
all your different stuff. So I was like, oh, I want to go.
Oh yeah, I can see that you were playing with the pencil ink brush there.
Mm-hmm.
Because technically you bought it, didn't you?
Yeah.
And it was me that kind of nicked it off you.
It's a great sketchbook video. I'm missing pages. That was early idea for a stop motion that I did.
You've got that on a different YouTube channel.
Yeah, I can show you a link to it if you want to watch it, guys.
That'd be
But
a
yeah,
good idea.
this was kind of like the early beginnings of Doodle Date because that was when we went to that cafe, didn't we? And that was
we were sat in Sainsbury's and that was the kid with a slushie next to us. I remember her.
This is more concept stuff for the stop motion thing. All of this will make sense if you guys actually go and take a look at it.
Watch it, yeah.
It's all background stuff. And that's some clothing stuff for what he wore.
Because you filmed that Christmas of last year.
That's right, yeah. Notes on the stop motion thing, one Inktober thing from, I think, 2014.
Because I was doing Inktober for the first time that year and this was Adam's attempt at participating. He did about 3 doodles and gave up.
There's another one. And that was the last one.
Yeah, and that's Inktober done for the year.
That was going to be one, but
you give up on that.
More stop motion things.
And not.
This was all the storyboarding for it, I think.
Oh, there's a little character.
Yep.
I drew some fan art for him, and I have no idea where you've put him anymore.
I've got him somewhere. He's cut out, isn't he?
Yeah, you've probably lost it.
If I find him, I'll show you. More notes on blinking, moving characters around.
Oh, dogs.
Shapes of dogs, which I still can't draw animals very well. That's something I need to
learn. You were going to do
learn.
a project based around a dog. I totally forgot about that.
Yes, but whether that'll ever happen, I do not know. I think these were loosely based on you.
Yeah, I think so, because that's my onesie. I recognise it. I haven't worn my onesie in a video yet. They've seen the rest of my
I'm sure
pages.
they can't wait. More of a style exercise. This is when I was kind of getting into drawing, because on this page, this was the first picture I did on the 5th of January 2015. And it was from this I decided to take up drawing properly and draw every day. And I have been since then.
And in all honesty, when he said he was going to do that, I thought, oh, here we go, because Adam's always been a bit of a hobbyist, where he takes something up for a month and then quits. But he actually did, he stuck it through for a year, and I'm really impressed.
So yeah, that's a special one, because that marks the day. Ever since I did that, I've been drawing every single day.
I still really like those ones on the right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's because there's a nice mix of like blacks and whites and greys. Nice tones.
More doodles of you. More,
yeah, let's
more
draw
dogs.
You never draw dogs anymore.
I know. Oh, you did that.
Did I?
That's definitely one of yours, yeah.
I can't remember doing that. Oh, you started to date them around here.
Yeah, so that's the 2nd. Well, that says the 2nd of January, but I wasn't drawing every single day back then.
Oh, you made me draw something in your sketchbook and then asked me to sign it.
Yeah. One day when you're a famous illustrator, I'll be like, yeah, I've got an original.
Sell that.
That's when I've drawn 2 faces, and then you've drawn 2 legs over the top. and you even labelled them legs.
Are you sure I did that?
That's definitely you, yeah.
Oh.
I can tell.
I had a lot of respect for that doodle.
See, because now it jumps to the 3rd of April. I obviously lost this, found it again, and then
You were
started
still drawing though, you just had a different
Oh, yeah,
sketchbook.
yeah. Which we'll probably show you as well at some point.
Is that the really massive A3
Yeah,
one?
it's the big A3 one.
I don't think we're going to be able to film that with the same setup as this. We'll have to do it.
We'll probably have to do that one on the bed.
Yeah, it's just seriously, it's such a huge book. There's no way it'd fit on like the tripod really.
There's Pearl. The random Pearl.
It's crazy how much your art's improved in the space of a year.
Well, that's it. I mean, if you're able to commit to just doing some doodles every day, but more so learning, like, find out what you like from styles, apply it to your own.
It's so funny hearing you say this because I was the one telling you this a year ago.
I know, and I was like, no.
Because I kept telling him, you need to go on Pause Maniacs and do some gesture studies. And he was like, I don't want to, I don't like doing that. I was like,
I don't need to know how the body works. And evidently looking at these, I did. I really did.
well, this is around the time when you'd first started using it, and I can already tell your anatomy's come along like tenfold for it.
It's like in these, I clearly didn't understand what a forehead was in these.
It's cute though, it's your art journey.
Oh, it is, yeah. I mean, you shouldn't be ashamed of any of these. I mean, when you look back, you can be like, well, that's how good I was then, and hopefully you'll be able to look back and say, yeah, I've improved.
It's a good thing to be able to spot like one bad thing in every drawing that you do, or multiple bad things, because then in your next drawing it means you've discovered something bad you did, and then you can apply a way of fixing that in the next drawing.
Yeah.
If you can't spot mistakes in your artwork, that's when you're in trouble.
So you need to take a step back and be like, how can I get better? Say, body too small.
Oh, it's cute that you were writing notes.
Say, more notes.
It's already coming along so much better though, and we're still in January.
Hands, which I still struggle with.
I think those are pretty good hands though.
Completely forgot that I was actually looking at a lot of full bodies and expressions back then. It's something that I should really do more of and stop being lazy and just doing like heads and shoulders, like stuff like that.
It's just, I think because a lot of our sketchbooks, A5, it's really difficult to fit a massive body in with gesture and stuff, so it kind of gets a bit easy to do little heads.
I'd drawn these on my birthday, and you've put like a party hat and stars around the date.
Was it me who
Yeah,
did
that was you. It's like, how can I make this doodle more birthday-like?
It's your birthday again soon.
It is. Well, if anyone wants to know my birthday date, it's right there. See, I think these two are probably still some of the best stuff I've done, and it was like yonks ago. I've always really liked that one.
That was literally a month after you decided that you wanted to learn how to draw, and then there you go, that's some of your best.
Do you guys have like any attachment to a doodle that you've done like ages ago and thought, yeah, that was pretty good?
I do, but I think it's more so because it felt like the first step into the right direction, so I always treasure those drawings.
More hands.
Someone was getting upset with drawing hands. Like, lots of people ask, how do you draw hands? And really, the best step is like, just look at your own hand and try and draw it.
And try, like what I tried to do, is just try and break it into different shapes. Then when you put them all together, like this, it's a bit easier to draw. Especially with fingers, because fingers can be a right pain. So again, it's like a rectangle, like a square, which comes out wider on that end. The thumb comes out, and then the fingers come out the top.
There's a little hand tutorial for you.
all rules that I always forget to apply myself.
Yeah, same. I like that one on the right.
And that's an idea I had, which I still haven't done anything with. That's when we were watching wrestling.
Yeah. I've got a few doodles
dudes.
in one of my sketchbooks of some wrestlers because you kept asking me to draw them.
It's like, please draw wrestlers. See, that's one.
He's so scary. I like the shapes of him.
I can't even remember doing like most of these. Male bodies.
This must have been around the point where I said, you need to learn how to draw men now.
Yeah. Which I still do. I definitely don't do enough.
Yeah, same. I very rarely draw boys as well.
Yeah, well, that's definitely a study of Christoph. That's definitely a study of Tarzan.
Glen Keane.
He's one of my favourite guys, he is. Remember to squish and play with placement of features for better expressions.
It's because he looks a bit blank there.
Yeah. So this is literally a sketchbook of me just telling myself off.
Yeah. But I think people will appreciate seeing those kind of notes on top of drawings.
See, that was, well, trying to play with squishing, but Always stuff that I need to go back and relearn.
Oh, that never ends.
Never ends.
There will never be a point with your artwork where you're like, this is good enough,
Yeah.
I'm happy now.
So I think that's pretty good. That was Anna for a girl called Agatha, wasn't she? She had a Twitter campaign where she wasn't very
she was poorly, wasn't
yeah, she wasn't very well, and people were asking her to draw Frozen characters, but with her name in. So that was for her. Pretty sure that was off Lookbook or something, like a fashion site.
Yeah, it must be, because you don't normally put that much detail
into clothes, yeah.
Unless it's medieval stuff, he puts in tons of detail for anything that's sort of like chain or armour.
Yeah. Well, I really like that stuff. I did a lot of full bodies back then. That's something I definitely need to do some more of.
Oh, you were a machine back then when you decided that you wanted to learn to draw. You'd just sit there and do about like 50 drawings every single night.
Another blank page. See, anything that might have armour in, I'm like, yeah, I've got to put that in.
I'll put tons of detail into that.
Yeah, more of it there. Ooh. Maybe something good here.
Are those more wrestlers?
Probably, yeah, yeah. Even more hands. But that was by what was the guy's name?
Not Carl.
Yes. If you ever want to study or learn some hands, have a look at him. He's a very, very talented guy.
I've done tons of studies of the way he does hands, and I still can't do him as good as him.
Expressions. More hands.
That's an interesting one on the right.
Where did that one come from?
I like the one on the left.
Yeah.
Oh, you're playing with smudging on the right there. That's something that
I've started doing.
It's funny that you did it like the once and then never did it again.
Never did it again for like a year. More medieval dudes. Studies of Tangled and Frozen. More Glen Keane stuff. Same again. And I think that is it. It's not even finished, look.
And you kept complaining about how you have no paper to draw on and you skip off of your sketchbook.